Hi everyone. So this video is the continuation to the previous video about inner child therapy. In the previous video, I explained that how we choose the parents very briefly. There's another video which talks about choosing the parents. And I also explained the difference between energy healing and metaphysical therapy. So I really suggest, if you haven't watched that video, it is important we go in a sequence for the better understanding of a topic. This is a deep topic. This is something you must understand completely so that you can actually, once we reach the processes stage, you can actually pay attention and be aware of what is happening. And with the background that I'm creating, you would be able to process and use the processes for your benefit. If you go haphazard and if you don't understand from where we are coming and what is the concept, what is the context, you probably will miss the point at some point or at some level. So ideally, we should go one by one. I would be having, series wise 1, 2, 3, 4, so that it can help you stay connected and you can keep going back and watching if you need more information. So let's get into inner child finally. This is something which I have been told to teach as much as it is possible, and it should be available to the masses. My next book is also on the same topic, and hopefully once the book is out and the processes are coming along the book, you can utilize it even better. But let's just start here. So I explained in the previous video what is this terminology that we are using as inner child, how does it start, and what does it really mean. Now let's understand when the conception happens. For the first few weeks, there's really nothing physical. There is something physical. There is a cell formation. The fetus is getting formed, but there is nothing like a brain that can process emotions. There is nothing like a nervous system that can process pain. There is nothing like a sense of knowing of the self, right? We are dealing with the fetus, which is a mass of cells multiplying continuously and regenerating, and then slowly the baby is forming, right? We start seeing in the ultrasound how the baby forms. I don't want to get into the medical details because I am not a doctor and my information medically would be very limited. You can in fact combine that with an understanding of the development of the fetus, reading about it scientifically. We are going to talk only metaphysics, which means we are going to be dealing with the part of us which is not physical. But unfortunately or fortunately, that is 90% of who we are. We are talking about that intelligence that is actually coming into the womb and coming into these cells and helping these cells develop to a full-grown baby or a fetus in just about 9 months, 9 days, and 9 hours. We want to deal with that aspect of us, which is beyond our knowing. Yet, if we know the tools and techniques, we can tap into it. Now, once the parents have decided and the child has been conceived, it takes about 40 days for the soul to go through its plan, understand it, try to remember it, tries to put everything together and get ready to come into the womb. So once the soul descends into the womb at about 40 days, that's the first stage of the soul actually coming into the womb and settling into the womb. However, from the time the inception has started, where the parents just thought of having a child, they didn't even know when, why, how, but they just thought that we want to have a child at some point. The souls who were ready and wanting to come decided to watch these parents, and eventually the ones that matched these parents the most decided to come down and comes down with a soul plan. So you understand, the awareness of us at the soul level is way before we even come into the womb. It starts way before, just by an expression of a desire by the parents. The soul starts to watch, and then eventually the best soul matching this frequency chooses the parents and come down. So inner child starts from there. I know if you haven't done this work before, it is very, very difficult to really try and imagine or understand how would this whole mechanics works, but you need to go through this experience. It's like how much ever I tell you how a banana tastes, you will not know it unless you pick up a banana, peel it off and eat it, and then see for yourself whether you like it or not. My explanation of the taste of banana will not help you. So all metaphysical therapies are something that you need to get into it in order to understand its effect, and you need to be willing to try something new. Is it easy? No, it's not easy. Why it's not easy? Because you're tapping to the parts of you have not been wanting to know. Either they were too painful, or you have a judgment about them, or they were difficult to go through and you did a part of it and then you left in between because it was very, very difficult and probably kind of heart-wrenching to go through those experiences. So it's not that the inner child only deals with the bad things, but the good things don't cause us any trauma. That's why we are going and finding out about the things that didn't work in our favor, and we want to change them. Because once the inner child and the part of us, the inner child is actually the subconscious aspect of us, the one that knows it all but has forgotten, and the one that who has forgotten and now doesn't know how to remember the solution. Inner child is a part of us that really knows how to live without the need to compete, to feel jealous, to envy, to compare itself. It's a part of us which has complete confidence in and is so grounded in beingness that it can actually take charge of our life. But what happens is, once the soul comes with all the confidence, all the knowing, all the remembering of its soul plan, the moment it starts getting entangled with the energy of the parents, that energy, their belief system, their background, their DNA, their knowing, their lack of awareness, their ignorance, whatever you want to call it, is actually going to affect, because energy cannot be contained. Once the child is coming down and it descends into the womb, now these two energies, three energies, and in fact the entire environment energy is interacting and leaving its impression on the child. Why is it that the child is getting impressed by these impressions of their belief system and not the other way around? Is very simple. Because when the child is in the womb, and in fact till 7 years of age, the child does not have a conscious mind. The conscious mind hasn't been developed, so it cannot use logic and reasoning and judgment and try and see if this is right or this is wrong, this is what I want to choose for me and this is what I want to drop. So it keeps absorbing everything exactly the way it has been given to. Whereas the parents are not even aware of this aspect, and they already have a lot going on, and their conscious mind is at play, and they already have a fixed belief system and an automated programming through which their life is being run. So they don't get affected by the child's knowing of the goodness, of the purity, of the belief and the faith that it has in the universe. And it is the other way around, because we are at that level the most impressionable, even though we are most connected with the universe. But at the same time, because we don't have a judgment and a sense of polarity and right and wrong and good and bad, the child in the womb gets impressed by all those energy imprints or emotional imprints or whatever you want to call it. So once that entanglement starts to shape up, slowly the child loses its connection, very slowly starts to lose its connection and gets affected by the child. So in fact, a lot of damage has been caused to children in the womb stage. So when we go back and do the inner child, of course we do the soul macrocosm drama also. Of course we do before the life has started and what was the plan. But that's at a later stage. We want to deal and understand originally what caused what and when it was caused. A lot of issues have been already created in the womb. Let's say when the mother wasn't very sure of wanting to have a child. when having a child was not a priority, but it was an imposition by the society, by the family, by the culture, and the mother wasn't ready and had doubts and confusions, and so many times just simply didn't want to go through this process of pregnancy and having a child. It can be a rejection at the level of, let's say, for gender. In some societies, the female child is not really very welcome. So the feeling of rejection can happen then. It can be father's financial issues or the lack consciousness. Any belief or emotion that the parents have gone through leaves an impression on the child. Sometimes when the mother is going through a very difficult marriage, when the parents, when the family is already dysfunctional and the mother is looking for a way out, and then a pregnancy happens that wasn't really planned by her, but she cannot let go of it. She does not want to or cannot let go of the pregnancy and, I would say abort the child. But at the same time is feeling very stuck that now a child is going to be there or another child is going to be there and I'm going to be even more stuck. So the child starts feeling that I'm stuck, I'm imprisoned, I'm not, So every impression and emotion of the mother, let's say the mother has always been tired and exhausted. In fact, I had a case of a family constellation in which, one of the students of mine picked up on the energy of client where the client felt very tired and exhausted, and then when we went back, it's a past life thing, but look at how we even carry the inner child impressions even from a past life to another lifetime. If you don't believe in past life, it's perfectly fine. Just understand that there are other kind of works that happen. You don't have to pay attention to that. You just take the parts that works for you and work through that and with that. So in that lifetime, in the womb, the child had felt and experienced that the mother is very tired because there were already 4 or 5 other children. And then this one was coming. And even in this lifetime, because that mother happens to be the mother in this lifetime, even in this lifetime, the mother has always felt tired and exhausted. And that is what the child has picked up. That my mother is always tired and exhausted and I should do something for her. So this is how impressionable we are. When we are working with inner child, as when I will start doing the processes, see, I cannot do all the processes that I do in person or in my workshops, but I will try to give you as many processes as is possible. So for today, what I suggest is get your journal, go through this video a couple of times and sit down with your top 3 limiting beliefs. I pick up any top 3 limiting beliefs, let's say about either a relationship or about finance or about your career, whatever. Just pick up any one topic and let's say just finance or just relationship, and pick up for now only your top 3 limiting beliefs. You note them down. Till the next video, I'll start telling you a process and how to deal with it. And slowly we will go into really healing and dealing with the inner child one by one at a time, one process at a time. I will do my best to offer as much as it is possible that you can do on your own, but I will not be able to do the whole entire work online, especially when I am not in touch with you. There are certain things that my presence and to hold the space for the participants and for the clients is important. So I will, I'm just telling you what I would be teaching won't be the whole of it, but I am doing my best. I'm trying to do my best that I give you as much as you can do on your own and help yourself. Stay with this information till the next video.